What's up, guys? We are back for round 15 of the Monster Energy Supercross presented by Discount Tires. We're starting the virtual track walk presented by Dunlop Motorcycle Tires, and I got my good friend Brock Glover with me. What's up, Brock?
Nothing, Tyler. How are you doing, buddy? We're just got perfect weather today. It's so exciting.
I'm honestly so pumped. It is Supercross once again on Sunday. You know, as a Supercross lover like myself, it is, a dream come true that we're racing on Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday. But we only have 2 rounds left, guys. 2 rounds left.
Yeah, we got this one. Yep, we got this one and 2 more. And then as right here on the screen, we're going down they moved the starting gate. It's the first time they've moved it since the previous rounds here in Salt Lake. Moved a little bit to the right, and we're coming down a full-length start. I mean, the full length of the stadium all the way. It's probably 325 feet to a gigantically open. This is an awesome corner. Look how wide it is. It's just
so
totally flat as a pancake, and it's going to be people jockeying for positions. It's cutting across 2 full lanes of track to pick up the third. So it's going to be, can you imagine how fast these 450 guys are going to be coming into here, and they're going to be jockeying for that whole shot and just battling it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Imagine, 450 main event, Ken Roxon, Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, El Hombre, all freaking lined up side by side in this lane. They could do it for sure with how wide that corner is. And we're coming into the first rhythm section right now. We got some small rollers, maybe a tire tap, get into this pocket right now, and then triple, and then maybe a triple single into this next corner. But the track's looking really good. A lot of back and forth lanes with some full corners, some really good flat corners. Track's looking really good. I'm really, really excited about this one.
Yeah, this for me looks like the best track we've seen so far. And, the kudos to the track crew. What a great job. Yesterday was quite windy, I mean, they had to battle a lot of, 15, 20 mile an hour winds all day long. And they just did a great job tilling up the dirt, just top surface grooming it and getting some moisture in it. And the temperatures are quite comfortable. They're only in the 70s, so you're not battling that summertime heat that's capable up here in this kind of alpine, arid environment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The track crew has been doing an amazing job with these tracks. Even with that mud moto or the mud race we had, the track was still really good. And at the end of that main event, Cooper Webb and Eli Tomac were absolutely killing it. And, once again, we're coming into Sunday, beautiful weather, beautiful track, another good race condition, another good race track. And I'm really excited to see the racing tonight. So, guys, for your information, NBC Gold practice starts or qualifying is going at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So tune in 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and then gate drop, NBC Gold, NBC Sports SN is 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, those are the times for the racing and the qualifying tonight. So make sure you guys are tuning in for that because you don't want to miss it. We're coming into our second rhythm section right now.
Just exited that 180 corner. That would be the real first sharp corner. It's a right-hand 180 and comes into this rhythm here. Depending on how you get out of that corner, there's going to be all sorts of combos as we've seen people mixing it up. The 250s don't have quite the horsepower of the 450s, so sometimes we've seen the 450s be able to get a couple of obstacles a little easier out of the corner than the 250s. But in general, the overall lap times between 250s and 450s have been nearly identical.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The 250s have been just going just as fast. And, as of last race Wednesday, the West Coast is stacked. It's phenomenal how much talent is in that class. Only 11 points separate the top 3. 11 points back to Justin Cooper, 10 points back Austin Faulkner, and then Dylan Ferrandis is in the points lead. We only have 2 West Coast rounds left. So we got this one and then the final shootout, and that's it. So it's going to be really interesting to see how things break down.
And we got a couple of spoilers in there as we exit another 180, a left 180, leading into 10 whoops right in a row here. And so this is going to give Malcolm Stewart and guys like the whoop specialist a little extra excitement as we head through these Dunlop whoops here, and just trying to get on top of them and just get all the speed you can as you head through. And then at the very end, we've got a couple little rhythms here that pretty much everybody will pop off, but it's important to carry good speed through here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, Malcolm Stewart, another, lights guy would be Christian Craig, who's been dialing in the whoops. You know, we all seen Jet Lawrence get a little squirrely in the whoops last weekend. So he's definitely got a challenge, this race this weekend. But I'm excited to see, the young talent coming up. It's going good. And then also the 450 class. The 450 class is just amazing me with how strong Cooper Webb is looking and how strong he's riding. He's just been absolutely killing it. He's in second place. He passed Ken Roxon for second place in the championship. Ken Roxon dropped down to third. But, I can kind of see Cooper Webb winning this race again this weekend. He's just been looking that good.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's got speed right now. He's really Eli and Cooper are the two guys that have separated themselves. I mean, Eli suffered, as we saw, a poor start and had to work his way all the way through the pack. He's never able to get another rider who's been riding phenomenally lately, Zach Osborne. So, Eli, as bad as that quote-unquote third place, how terrible that was for him, he ended up actually gaining another point, and just, Roxon slipped back away farther, slipped back into third, and then Cooper Webb came up into second. So Eli's got a little cushion here, but, I don't think regardless, he doesn't like losing races. And as we come out here, we come into kind of a more open corner, not really a 180. It sweeps around the 2 or 3 lanes and opens up. But here comes into the flat section of the starting line again. And this is where all the fun to me is going to happen. This is a big open corner again, coming onto it. These guys are going to be sliding as the track develops more hard pack and maybe a blue groove. They're going to be moving around, trying to find traction on the edge of the cushion. This is going to be they're going to be using flat track terminology, finding the cushion, and they're going to have to vary their lines. And coming into this first corner we saw earlier that was so wide, it's going to be really fun to watch these guys outside, inside setup and get with it and make some passes.
Oh, absolutely. And, the best way to hit this corner, unfortunately, is, you got to go all the way to the right side and then be able to cut down and really apex this corner. So with that wide of an entry, it's going to leave that door open to having some aggressive passes and having someone come down and do kind of a slide job on them and back it in right in front of them like they do in flat track. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I think this is going to be a key corner for passing and, some jockeying of the positions. And I'm really excited to see. And two, there was a Dragons back right before that start straight, what, could get chuckled. But let's talk a little bit more about tire setup with all these flat corners. Are we dropping the tire pressure, or is the tire pressure kind of staying the same?
It's pretty much staying the same. I mean, you don't want to take it down too low because then the tire might be, get too soft or wallow around a little bit too much. So it just depends on what each rider's preference is. I think it's just going to be kind of a standard situation for the riders on tire pressure, probably 12.5 in the rear and maybe even up to 13, depending on, how it is on the track. And then, front's usually about a half a pound or a pound more. So, but as we talked about coming out of that corner right there, the start goes real wide and open, but the first corner, when they're coming back on the racetrack during the races, they have to make a real sharp corner. So as you said, leaving it wide in the entry to get a tight apex coming down and heading towards that finish line jump is going to leave the door open. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens as they come around that and then hit the finish line and then do another 180 here, right-hander, and then head back towards this big triple.
Yeah, no, we got the standard, 65, 62-foot triple into another flat corner. So I think the key tonight is going to be getting dialed in those flat corners and just being smooth and making sure your slide is really consistent and you have, a control, throttle control, especially as the night goes on, those corners are going to break down.
Yeah, look how tight this corner is coming up
Yeah.
here, man. So great work by our cameraman, Matt, here. He's just showing
Uh-huh.
that. I mean, think how tight this is going to be. These guys are going to be landing inside, sliding. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting what the technicians do for the teams if they try to detune the bike a little bit on the bottom of the, you know, so it doesn't hit so hard, or, you know,
Yeah.
what are they going to try to do to keep it from spinning and sliding in these flat corners when they jump on the throttle?
Yeah, and absolutely. And, you know, there is the end of our virtual track walk. Thank you guys for watching. Presented by Dunlop Motorcycle Tires.